So why does somebody go for sell by owner as opposed to listing with a realtor? Well, the answer might surprise you. A lot of people would just assume that it's all commission related. But the truth is that only about 40% of sellers are going FSBO because of commission. 60% are not. So when you hear that number, you might be like, oh, that's interesting. Here's something else that's interesting about these numbers when you dig in is that only 5% of people will never use a realtor no matter what. 95% are open to using a realtor, which leads us to the last statistic you should know about when you're talking about for sale by owners, which is this, is that 92% will end up working with the realtor. So 9 out of 10 are going to work with the realtor at some point. So the question mark is this: if they're going to work with a realtor, which realtor are they going to work with? Are they going to work with you or your competitor? If you never reach out to them, they're never going to reach out to you. They're never going to be someone that's going to say, hey, Jim, out of the blue, I want you to list my house. You have to have a plan in place to be in contact with them. But here's the magic behind this, and that is this, that there's a 4 to 6 week incubation period for most for sell by owners. This means that from the time they put the house in the market to the time that they decide to give it up, throw in the towel and hire a realtor is about 4 to 6 weeks. So if you say today, hey, I'm going to commit to working with for sale by owners, what you got to do is let go of expectation, let go of the idea that you're going to get a result for how long? 4 to 6 weeks, because that's how long they're going to incubate. But the key is you got to follow up with them every week for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So, one of the magic sentences that we can use with for sale by owners, the one that I love the most, is when you're calling them, whatever your strategy is for calling them, use this language. You're going to say, hey, I'm calling, caught your listing on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, wherever you found it. I saw it, drove by the sign, somebody sent it to me, someone texted it to me. Hey, listen, I want to tell you, I'm not calling to list your house. I respect your decision to sell on your own. That's going to bring all their defenses down. They're going to take a deep breath. You're going to take a deep breath. Everybody's going to feel comfortable. And now I'm just going to say, hey, but I'd love to come by and take a look at your house in case I have a buyer, or if I have a buyer, 5-minute walkthrough if you're cool with it. And I promise, again, I'm not going to ask you to list your house with me. And now I'm going to get over to the house. And you might say, well, Jim, how do I list their house? It's all about the incubation period and creating a relationship. That's what it's about. If they decide they're going to list with you, you want to make sure that you're in position to have that conversation with them. So now I'm going to walk through the house. We're going to do the tour. I'm going to take notes. At some point, I'm going to say, hey, listen, can I ask you a quick question? I promise you I wasn't going to ask you a list for your listing. I'm not. But if you aren't successful selling on your house, do you think at some point you might work with a realtor? Probably they're going to say yes. If they say yes, they'll say, how long do you think you might give that? 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years? And they'll say, usually 2 months is usually the answer. Hey, great. If you get to that point and you haven't sold it, love to be somebody interview. Again, I promised I wasn't going to ask for your listing, and I'm not. But do you mind if I just stay in contact with you just to check in and see if the house is still available every week or so? That'd be cool. They say yes. Great. Now I've got permission to follow up. Now I follow up every single week. Hey, just want to check in with you. How you doing? How's it going? Any activity? Hey, by the way, there's been some activity in your neighborhood. 2 new listings hit the market. One went pending, one sold. I'll shoot them over to you so you know what you're dealing with. And just keep me in mind, if you get to that point where you're not wanting to market yourself, you want to turn to a realtor, love to be somebody to interview. And I just stick with them for that 4 to 6 week period. Now, here's the key number, guys. 70% of for sale by owners will list with the first person that contacts them after they make the decision to go with a realtor. So you could have contacted them day one, but 4 weeks in, they make the decision. Who they listing with, 70% of the time, it's going to be the first person that contacts them after that decision's been made. So I got to stick with them 4 to 6 weeks. There's a little bit of a snippet on working with for sale by owners. We actually spend 2 full weeks on for sale by owners within our coaching program over at eRealEstateCoach. If you'd like to check it out, go over there and explore the path performance coaching. We dive deep into literally hundreds of different lead generation processes and techniques and strategies from the top producers in the country. So check it out, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Good selling.